genomic and ecological feasibility of resurrecting Ainochiondirus brings the concept of de-extinction to the public eye. The resurrection of an extinct species using advanced biotechnology has transitioned from speculative science fiction to a highly active subfield of synthetic biology and conservation genomics. While high-profile projects frequently target to woolly mammoth, Mammutus primigenius, or the passenger pigeon, Ectopistes migratorius, the apex predator of the late Pleistocene Americas, the dire wolf, presents a uniquely complex case study. The very first fossil discovery of a dire wolf was a bit of a historical relay race, involving a local collector, a state geologist, and a famous paleontologist. The story unfolded in the mid-19th century in the Midwestern United States. Late in the summer of 1854, a local collector named Francis A. Lenk was walking near the mountain of Pigeon Creek along the bed of Ohio River near Evansville, Indiana, because the river's water levels were unusually low that season. Link spotted a strange, heavily fossilized jawbone, mandible, with intact cheek teeth embedded in the riverbed. Link initially kept the bone, but sadly passed away just a few weeks later, on August 28 of the same year. Following his death, his family gave the specimen to Dr. Joseph Granville Norwood, a medical doctor and the first state geologist of Illinois, who was working nearby. Recognizing that this jawbone belonged to a massive, unknown canine, Dr. Norwood shipped the fossil to Philadelphia for expert analysis. The fossil landed on the desk of Dr. Joseph Leidy, widely considered one of the founding fathers of American vertebrate paleontology. In the 21st century, that original jawbone became the official type specimen, the scientific benchmark blueprint for the entire species, while Leidy placed it in the genus Canis alongside modern gray wolves. DNA breakthroughs in 2021 officially moved into its own genus, making its full scientific classification Ainochiondirus, that means dreadful dog. The Dallas-based biotech company Colossal Biosciences made global headlines by announcing what they termed the world's first de-extinction of a large prehistoric apex predator, the dire wolf. To begin with, Colossal successfully engineered and brought to term 3 living animals, which now live and travel together as a small pack on a protected 2,000-acre ecological preserve. Today is 6th of May, 2026. The historic creatures were reborn as Romulus and Remus, twin males born on October 1st, 2024. Named after the legendary founding myth of Rome, the twin sons of the war god Mars and a Vestal virgin, both children breastfed by a she-wolf, and the other specimen, Khaleesi, a female born a few months later on January 30, 2025. A fictional title meaning queen in the Dothraki language from George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire book novels. The science with which they were made make them not clones of ancient direwolves. Because DNA degrades severely over thousands of years, scientists cannot simply copy-paste a flawless, extinct genome. Instead, they built a proxy by heavily editing a living clone relative. Scientists extracted and sequenced ancient DNA from 2 distinct, remarkably well-preserved fossil specimens: a 13,000-year-old direwolf tooth from Sheridan Pit, Ohio, and a 72,000-year-old ear bone from American Falls, Idaho. They took blood samples from living gray wolves, isolated endothelial progenitor cells lining blood vessels, and used cluster regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats to make 20 precise edits across 14 specific genes. They were intentionally selected to rewrite the gray wolf's code to express physical traits unique to the extinct direwolf. Once the nuclei of the gray wolf's cells were edited, they were transferred into denucleated egg cells to form embryos. These embryos were implanted into large, healthy domestic hound mix surrogate mothers. The pregnancies were monitored weekly via ultrasound, and the pups were delivered via planned caesarean sections to ensure safety. They are engineered with wider skulls, broader head shapes, heavier jaws, large teeth, more powerful shoulders, and highly muscular legs. At full maturity, the males are projected to stretch to 1.8 meters, 6 feet in length, and weigh up to 68 kilograms, 150 pounds, roughly double the weight of an average gray wolf. The elder species sport a distinctive, highly uniform light white coat. Interestingly, Colossal had to use a modern canine coat gene variant because the original ancient variant carried a high risk of congenital blindness and deafness. Remarkably, the pups began howling at just 2 weeks old. Their howling pattern is different from modern gray wolves, marking the first time these unique vocalizations have been heard on Earth in over 10,000 years. From birth, handlers noted they showed zero dog behavior. They display natural wolf tendencies, extreme wariness around humans, strict pack ranking, and early stalking hunting behaviors. The project has sparked massive debate with the biology community. Many paleogeneticists point out that calling this a true de-extinction is a bit of a stretch. The reality is that, biologically speaking, Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi are highly sophisticated genetically modified gray wolves, Canis lupus, edited to display the physical phenotype appearance of the direwolf. They are not capable of surviving in a natural habitat because they don't have one, and if they try by themselves, they won't survive for very long. While an individual direwolf was a powerful apex predator, its entire evolutionary design was built around social pack-based hunting. If it were separated from its pack permanently, a lone direwolf would face a shift downward spiral. The reality of how they lived and hunted shows why a solitary life was a death sentence for them. Also, direwolves didn't hunt rabbits or small deer. They specialized in Ice Age megafauna. From the thousands of direwolf bones preserved in the La Brea tar pits, it was researched that their primary diet consisted of ancient horses, bison, or even juvenile mammoths or mastodons. Colossal is already using 3 exact breakthroughs to aid active conversation. Recently cloning 4 critical endangered red wolves, Canis rufus. By raising these cloned wolves on ecological preserves with the goal of integrating them or their offspring into breeding programs, conservationists can artificially diversify the gene pool, creating more resilient packs capable of surviving reintroduction into the wild. This is highly unlikely for a great direwolf or the replica crafted by Colossal, but nevertheless, his existence is a miracle of nature and the animal kingdom. To end, I will ask the audience, is it the de-extinction of the legendary direwolf? I think it is. Debate in the comment section.